Now, the holidays are that time of year where we all count our blessings, including all of the delicious and perhaps not so nutritious food in front of us. Sometimes you look around and the only thing you're seeing are cookies, treats, and casseroles. In today's Cooking for Wellness segment, sponsored by Giant Eagle and the Cancer Support Community Central Ohio, Chef Tom Stevenson is helping us prepare to indulge. Hi, Tom.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm good because you just said there's going to be cookies and treats and casseroles surrounding me for the next few days, right?
Well, there is, but there's other things as well. So.
Okay, and what do you do? You know, we talk about that. We get to go to all these parties and there is an array of things around us. So what are some of the tips that you have maybe for somebody who's going to a party and you don't want them to, eat everything in front of them?
Well, the tip to remember, I think, is not to kind of think about every single calorie, but to think about how you can eat everything in moderation.
Okay, so you can take one of each thing maybe instead of 6 of these and 6 of those is what you're saying.
Absolutely, just a couple of each one of those and just pay attention to what you're using as far as how much you're putting on your plate at one time.
And I was asking you, one of the tips that I always heard was eat something before you go, right? Then you're not as hungry. But you say sometimes that can be kind of counterproductive.
That can, because this time of year we're kind of trained to eat everything on our plate. And so if you eat beforehand and then you go to a party and everything looks incredible and the host says, oh, you have to try,
this
one little thing. So next thing you know, you're eating double.
Okay, so try not to do that. Tom, you always make some great food. What are we looking at for some ideas this year?
Well, some of the ideas that we have is that this bruschetta was actually made in a crock pot, so we're using some slow cooking techniques.
Yeah, so how do you do that?
What you do is you just chop it all up, you leave it sit and marinate in a crock pot for about an hour, let it cook down for about 15 to 20 minutes and pull it out and all the flavors marinate together. These are some tri-baked red skin potatoes, tri-colored actually, stuffed with mushrooms. And then we've got some nice seared lamb chops that we've marinated for about 4 hours.
And you made a point to tell me, too, a lot of times you'll go to a restaurant and they'll give you these 2 lamb chops, a bunch of asparagus. They probably put mashed potatoes on the side. That is not a serving size, so to speak, right?
No, the restaurant's goal is to try to get as much per plate. They've got you in the front door, and now they want to sell you as much as possible. So really 1 lamb chop and then more asparagus on the plate is the best way to look at. About 3 ounces of protein is what you want.
Okay, and you are talking, too, about if you're cooking at home, so you're having friends, family over, a lot of the preparation can allow you to cut the calories, to cut the fat without doing the flavor, right?
Yep. When you're at home, you can control the sugar and the salt, and those are the 2 things that you always want to pay attention to. The other thing is that we are busy this time of year, so we have that tendency to want to stop through a fast food place. Well, the thing is, maybe you make the food on Sunday, use some slow cooking techniques in crock pots, and then you pull it out of the plastic bags throughout the week. Much healthier throughout the holiday season. So,
and what are some other ways? We have talked about maybe marinating, things like that you can add the flavor without adding the fat to it?
Absolutely. So Ziploc bags can be your friend.
Okay.
So what you can do is just put the marinade in there, leave it in there, or cryovac it, which is a really great way to do it. You can buy those really cheap at Giant Eagle.
Like the vacuum sealers, right? Is that okay?
Yep, put it all together for about 4 hours, leave it in there or the night before, pull it out the next day, and what a great way to add flavor without a ton of salt or sugar.
Okay, Chef Tom, in front of me, a beautiful looking festive drink, right? What do we got?
Well, this is a drink that, it uses cran raisins and fresh orange slices, and so no sugar added to it. It's one of the healthiest drinks that you could ever have. You could mix it up a little bit. Put some sparkling water in there, add a little vodka if you'd like, but this version right here is kind of the non-alcoholic version.
And it's always good to have drinks like these because you have kids that when it comes to the holidays, the young kids want to feel like adults. So sometimes you'll give them, something like this in a wine glass to make them feel like they're part of it, and then you can have your own wine glass with something else in it, right?
Absolutely. Kids love fun and festive, and so this is a good way to eat with their eyes kind of thing and to get them to drink more water.
Okay, you know the tricks, Chef Tom. Of course, tonight too, right? You've got a cooking demo going on at the Cancer Support Community.
Absolutely.
What are you cooking for us?
So I'm cooking these seared lamb chops, asparagus, these stuffed potatoes that we got right in front of us, and some bruschetta. And then I didn't bring it today, but we're making some chocolate mousse. Just a little decadent about that.
You've got to have that sweet treat at the end, just to kind of tie it all in.
Everything in moderation, but the healthier you eat now, the more you'll see the benefits of the first part of the year.
Okay, Chef Tom, thank you as always. Again, tonight it is at 6 at the Cancer Support Community on Old Henderson Road, and they will have lots of delicious stuff, so be sure to stop by, join them. It is going to be a good time. Thanks again.
Thank you so much.